Welcome back to another episode of the Footy Culture Podcast. It's World Cup season. It's finally here, and our nation, Canada, is entering their first World Cup in 36 years?
Something like that.
Something like that, right? And it's an exciting time. And we got to preview it. And we got a special guest joining us today to help us do just that.
Yes,
we got Adam Iafrady, Crates of Freights on Twitter, one of the biggest Canada soccer fans. Welcome.
Thanks, man. I'm stoked to be here. Like, it doesn't feel real. I was saying earlier before we got on air, it's snowing outside. It doesn't feel like a World Cup at all, but I know that's all going to change when Canada takes the pitch against Belgium on the 23rd.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the energy's starting to pick up, I think. We've had some, like, pre-World Cup friendlies. A notable one happened today. Canada versus Japan.
Yeah.
2-1 victory at the buzzer, essentially, for Canada. Goals from Vittoria, Cavallini. What do you think of the game?
I thought it was really encouraging. I watched this Japan team not long ago play a friendly against the U.S. and really take it to them. And there's quality all over that pitch. Top 5 league players all over the pitch. And I know they had a few of their starters out, but it was still like about half of their 11, and they subbed in a few key players as well. And for Canada to win the possession battle wasn't something I really expected. They had more shots on goal. Obviously, they won the match. So there's a lot of like really encouraging signs that you don't know it until you see it. Canada doesn't play these opponents every day, and so seeing that is super encouraging before a really tough group.
Definitely, and I don't know if you guys are able to catch the full game, but pretty much after Canada conceded and scored their goal, they were like in control. Like something I really saw, and I was promising, Alistair Johnson and Buchanan on that right flank, bro, combining like crazy.
Nice little dynamic there.
Yes,
dynamic duo.
Like Alistair Johnson's pinging nice through balls to him, like super easy. Joe David defending, like as a striker, like his hold up play and being able, he's tracking back the whole game to win the ball. So many promising signs.
It was a great, like it was a really good 90-minute performance. They didn't give up too many chances. I thought Japan's goal was like beautifully taken. I mean, you're gonna see goals like that every once in a while against world class opponents, but a perfect over the top through ball in this no man's land between Kamal Miller and Milan Borjan, gets a one-touch finish, that it happens. And other than that, I mean, they had a goal post real late. They had a half chance where I think it was Minamino mishits a shot outside the box. I count 3 chances in the whole game against a really, really quality opponent. So if you can hold a team like, Japan to 3, maybe you can hold a Belgium to 4 or 5 chances, get a little bit of lucky on your day, a little bit of luck, I should say, and you never know.
Yeah. Because that game against Bahrain, 2-2, I was like, Canada, man, I don't know. Looking a little rough out there, but this game against Japan, a little more reassuring for sure. Yeah, there's definitely some more hope, but it's going to be interesting to see them play a top side. That game against Belgium, crucial, because it's that statement game, that first game, where they need to make a name for themselves and they need to perform, right?
I think even if they lose, but they put up like a very good fight in that game, I think they could still do something against Croatia, because that's just going to show what they have in them,
And the squad released on Sunday. What do you guys think of it? A notable omission, kinda, I guess, was Daniil Henry. I thought he was like surefire, but like apparently he got hurt. In the Bahrain game, right? And but he's there still. Like he's still on the plane. He's still
vibing.
in the squad.
He's vibing,
chilling, bro.
He's chilling.
And according to a TSN little video they did, he's the team DJ.
Yeah. He's got the Hawks, bro.
Yeah, he's got the Hawks. So I think that might be like the primary reason that he's still.
He just came to DJ in the locker room, bro.
He's still got to be, because they talk about that locker room presence he brings. I guess that's a big part of it, right?
Yeah.
But you satisfied with the squad?
I am, and to that point, growing up, if you ever had the team DJ on, whether it's soccer teams, played on hockey teams, the guy who brings the aux, if he's not there, the team's having an off night.
Exactly.
You need, it just throws the whole routine off. So, I think he's always been a good culture guy, and I always wanted him to be on the squad for that reason, not necessarily because I wanted to see him play substantial minutes or any minutes for that matter, but I always felt like he was a big part of that brotherhood. So I was happy with it. I mean, there was like really not a whole lot to be complacent about. Maybe you could want Theo Corbeanu on at the later like stage of the squad, or maybe like a Liam Fraser playing at a little higher level than Liam Fraser is right now. But again, I think when you're talking about the 24th, 25th, 26th man, those guys aren't seeing the pitch. So you want to get guys who are going to be part of that journey and like part of the locker room dynamic. And obviously Herdman has a better gauge of who those guys are than I do. So who am I to question those decisions? I felt pretty good about it.
Yeah. Do you think Liam Fraser was Daniil's replacement? Because that's what I was hearing.
Yeah,
Really,
there's two minds
Yeah.
about it. There's Liam Fraser and then there's Joel Waterman, right? Which kind of makes sense just given that he's a center back. I'm not sure. I mean, we'll never know really. Herdman loves Fraser not for whatever reason. I mean, the guy he can play.
Yeah.
But I mean, he obviously has shown through qualifying like he trusts Liam Fraser. I remember back to 2019. I was at the game at BMO Field where they beat the U.S. and Mark Anthony Kaye had a 5th-minute injury in that one, and Liam Fraser had to come in and play 85, and he put a shift in that day, and he was fantastic. So I think from that point, that's where the trust sort of started to build, and it just kind of spiraled. It just continued on from there, and in every moment he's been relied on. You know, he had to come in for I think it was an injured Piet in World Cup qualifying. Had that beautiful over the top.
Joe David.
Yeah,
that
to Joe
ping.
David. So it's like every time they have needed him, he's delivered. So I felt like there was a good chance he could make it, even though his level in terms of where he's at in a club situation isn't quite as high as a guy like Corbinu. But between him and Waterman made a lot of sense for reasons that he plays with half our national team. Like he plays with the whole back line of CF Montreal. So if you're gonna call a guy who doesn't get a lot of experience in World Cup qualifying, you might as well call a guy from a team that he plays at his club football with half those guys. So there'll be some continuity there. It'll be easier to throw him in an emergency.
So you think he's like Waterman's well deserved over McNaughton?
I like Waterman over McNaughton. Yeah, I do. I had a good chance to watch Montreal quite a bit this year because they were a fun team to watch. Like I went out of my way to when I could to watch Ismail Kone, obviously Alistair Johnson, Kamal Miller, Vaughn soccer alums. Like
yes, sir.
We got to put on sometimes.
A lot of Vaughn on that team. Shout out Vaughn.
A lot of Brampton too, bro.
Brampton too, yeah. So they're a fun watch, but in that dynamic, like he started most of their matches. He was really, really good for them. So I was pushing for a national team call for even back in qualifying, and McNaughton I think is gonna get there, but he's not quite there. So I was happy with that decision.
I saw McNaughton's there though, like
he's
even
there.
in Qatar.
He's with the team.
Yeah.
But I mean he's not on the 26. It's kind of
Wow.
I
saw that.
Like Canada landed in Qatar, I think tonight.
Yeah.
I seen McNaughton coming off the plane.
Yeah.
What?
I'm like, is he? I guess he's maybe like a practice player.
I think
They got room on the plane.
He's
bro?
like an emergency call up. I think like if someone gets injured like that, like 27th.
That's
Sure.
good though.
Probably.
It's good to have him there.
Yeah.
Because I think you're allowed like what? How many emergency call ups are you
3?
allowed?
I think like you have a list of like 6.
So he's probably on the list.
Yeah.
Realistically speaking.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen like those emergency call-ups like actually come with the team. You know
Well,
what I mean?
they're in Qatar, so they probably got to be on
on
speed
call.
dial, you know.
They're on call.
That's crazy.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, man.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, Canada opens up their first game Wednesday against Belgium. Massive opponent. Will the boys be starstruck? Maybe.
I think they might be.
I mean, I saw. Here, go ahead.
I think they might be low key. If you guys, I'm sure we've probably all seen that TSN video that they posted on Twitter.
Yeah.
That like which player is most likely to kind of thing, and they're like which player is most likely to ask Kevin De Bruyne for his jersey.
And it was
Like
the whole
every
team.
single player's like,
Yeah,
oh yeah, I would,
yeah,
I probably would,
yeah,
I probably would,
yeah.
yeah, that'd be.
But they
me.
were like so giddy about it.
Oh, yeah.
Which like I'd be
Crazy,
too.
bro.
Like I'm not gonna like lie, I'd be too. But like,
nah, but they were meat riding De Bruyne though.
you think?
I think these guys are gonna be
talented,
starstruck, man.
Hey,
Like, I
yo,
don't know.
I don't know, man.
It's
Tough.
an interesting. I kind of thought when I saw that like oh is this moment gonna be like are they gonna be too engaged in like all the other stuff, you know, they walk
Yeah.
in the stadium, you look around like you're in a World Cup,
Yeah.
because you got to kind of hone in right when you're in a World Cup. It's like there's so much in terms of distractions.
Yeah, you gotta lock
You're
in.
lined up across from a De Bruyne, like that's a distraction for a guy who's plays in
course.
MLS. You're
Right.
never gonna see that dude in your life. So I get it. At the end of the day, I trust them to be prepared, because if there's one thing I've learned in this Herdman era is they're always prepared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like they're always in the right mindset, and he gets them there. So even if they're not there like today, on match day they'll be there. They'll be
Yeah.
where they need to be.
He sets them
So,
straight, definitely.
100%.
Probably the best gaffer you can have.
Yeah.
Right now. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like he's one of those gaffers he's a player coach, right? Man manager, and if the team is not a focus, he's gonna put them into place, right? You can tell that's how he is. So, I mean, there's no better coach for him than him, right? For a team like that, so
Yeah.
they'll all be focused once they see the pitch.
I hope so.
After
Oh,
the
yeah.
pitch, maybe they'll all be running to De Bruyne.
Yeah.
Get that jersey. Yeah.
But before then, I think they'll be focused.
Kevin's got to bring a few extra kits for the boys.
He might. Who do you think's actually gonna get his kit though?
Davies.
It's gonna
Joe.
depend. It's gonna depend if we go beat them in the first. He's not gonna want to give his kid up if
Yeah.
they lose
Yeah.
that game. So
Yeah.
True.
you know that would be my priorities. Like, you know, if no one gets a kit, that's a win. That means we probably won the game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
So that's the attitude I'd have. But listen, it's a once in a lifetime thing for these guys too. Like we have to think these guys work their whole lives to be in this moment, to be able to enjoy it. And one of the things Herdman's preached is like, enjoy it. Like, you're here for a reason. You're here because you earned the right to be here. And it is a celebration of sport as much as it's a competition. Like the World Cup, you see all the stuff they do building up to it to represent each of the 32 nations. It's really like that 50% of the tournament is just getting there because you get to experience the greatest event in world sport.
For sure.
And then obviously once you're there, you got business to take care of, but I'm sure it won't be lost on them that all the other stuff is part of it.
Yeah, no, you got to enjoy it. I think that's a good point because like, let's say for the Olympics, like they have that Olympic village where all the athletes of all the countries are linking. It's a good vibe.
They're enjoying a little too much.
It gets
a little rowdy.
Yeah, like they don't really do that with World Cups because like they're in their camps, they're locked in. But like I could see why like you're Canadian. Imagine like there's Vaughan soccer players on the team. Imagine us going to the World Cup. Nuts. Like I'd be pretty starstruck too, right? Like I'd be running to like Modric to get his shirt.
Yeah,
like easily.
Luka.
Yeah. Like I'll be the first one running to him, right? But like I would hope that like the Belgium team doesn't get like their hands on that clip.
Yeah.
Oh, you think
like
they would?
everyone just gassing De Bruyne?
I think they will.
And they're memeing him.
You know what though? In a way, I think they want that. In a way, everything that Herdman does, I think, is a mind game. And
calculated?
I think I've been saying that. I actually said a while ago, I don't know how true this is, but I think like one of the reasons Liam Fraser made the squad is because so that the Belgian media can pick up and say, look, the Canadians called a player from our second division. Because I think there's an element of that. Like they want to be taken lightly, catch a team off guard a little bit. He's not going to play, so it doesn't really matter. I think there's an element of that. I think everything Herdman does there's purpose behind it, and he's a very, very intelligent man. And if you talk to him, it doesn't take you long to figure out that he's 6 steps ahead always. So I'm sure that they're trying to get their guard down just a little bit in terms of like they want to play that like we're the fairy tale team, we're the team that like we're looking up to these guys like they're giants and put them on a pedestal and then knock them down.
Yeah.
You're not going to expect when we get on the pitch with you, we're not going to give you the same respect that you think we're going to give you. So that's my hope. Because if they go and they're too nice, I can't imagine at the back, Richie Larea or Alistair Johnston or whatever, they're going to back down to those guys. Like when there's a 50-50 and it's you and De Bruyne and they go and they take the ball and whatever else comes with it, I think Belgium will know then that they're not caring about a jersey swap. They're there to play. So.
Sure.
Yeah, like no matter what level of footballer you are, you can still have that dog in you, right?
You have to.
Hondo,
and like that's what these Canadian boys are gonna bring.
Yeah.
Right.
What do you guys think their chances against Belgium are, though? How do you guys think they'll do?
It's tough to say, man. It really is tough to say because obviously, like on paper, if you're looking at the roster, you're thinking you're severely outmatched. But I mean, it's the World Cup, and crazier things have happened. There's always that fairy tale team,
exactly,
and there's always that giant that comes tumbling down, and maybe we'll be that fairy tale team, and you never know.
Hopefully.
I think we got the players. We have the pace. We have the youth. We have players who have that, dog in them, right? And we're hungry. You can tell every single one of those players are hungry. And it's that hunger that's going to bring them to the next level. Look at Belgium. Depression after depression, coming out of the World Cup, Euros, all these things. It's going to get to them. And it's our first World Cup after many years. So there's no better story than that, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, what I'm interested in is what's this lineup gonna look like?
Yeah.
Like you have your first names on the team sheet, like Borjan, he's starting. Kamal, Vitoria, pretty much the D line. Alistair. And then things might get tricky as you kind of go a little bit more up the field. Hoylett's been getting shouts to get the start.
Yeah,
after he's been in great
I think
form.
He should, man.
So good today.
Man of the match today, no?
Yeah, man of the match
today. And the other thing that people have pointed out, I think it's really intelligent. 40% of the goals happened in Russia 2018 came off set pieces, either directly or indirectly off set pieces. And his service today was fantastic.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
And obviously they scored off a set piece. That might be an X factor because I don't know that they have. I think Estaquio's service is very good at times, but I don't know that they had a performance consistently as good as Hoylett's was today in terms of in swinging corners, getting to heads, even ones that weren't in the net. Like they created every single set piece felt like it was a great chance.
Yeah.
And they might need that. That might be the separator between them and a Morocco or them and a Croatia. Just having that one moment where they can find a head and nip a goal. So that feels like almost good enough reason alone to start Hoylett. Obviously he played really well today. And I think there's a space for him maybe in more of an attacking midfield role. I know that's not where he's playing with his club football right now, but Canada's midfield, I mean, really, who's he competing with for that role? It's probably him or Osorio. Osorio's coming off a long injury.
Yeah.
So it definitely makes a lot of sense. Like, I wouldn't be against it. I think I would start Hoylett if I had to make the 11 tomorrow.
No, that's a great way to look at it, because if you don't say can match up on the field talent wise, you might have to get your goals on set pieces.
Yeah, right? Take your opportunities when you can.
Yeah, right? Like look at Greece 04. A lot of their goals leading up to winning that tournament as dark horses were on set pieces, corners.
Yeah.
So obviously Canada doesn't match up to Belgium talent wise, or even Croatia talent wise. So you might as well get set pieces, and maybe I'm thinking Hoylett. Maybe I'm thinking Hoylett too. Yeah. You might have won me over there with that one.
That's what I'm here for.
But who steps out?
Yeah,
if you put Hoylett
in. It really. So what I would do? Should I just give you my 11?
Yeah, let's hear your 11.
All right. Dane's no kidding. Borjan in goal. The back three you mentioned: Kamal, Victoria, Johnston. Wing backs, Davies. We're assuming he's healthy to start.
Yeah.
He's not Adekube, but we're hoping.
So wait, what's your formation here?
3-5-2.
Yeah.
So the five will be made up with the wing back, the wing backs will be Davies and Tejan. The three will be Estacio, Hutchinson, and Hoylett in the most advanced position, and the two will be Laren and
really.
David.
So you're not starting Adekubi or Rich?
No.
Jeez, that's
different. And Davies as my wing backs.
That's really attacking.
Very attacking.
Yeah.
You're going for the game. You're just gonna come and send a message like you're
coming in
hard
hard.
For the game.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, you guys agree with that?
I like that, but a lot of people are taking shouts for Kona to start as well.
Yeah. It's a big game to throw someone like that in against a Belgium. It's easy for him to get lost in that midfield against Belgium, and it's like the last thing you want is to throw him in against Belgium. You kill his confidence, and then he's like not an X factor for the rest of the tournament.
No matter what, like he's proven he should
probably
play.
Come on,
But I don't think I don't know if he starts, but I would definitely give him some minutes because he can change a game. Like that.
Maybe he finds his way into the team as the tournament goes on.
Exactly.
You think Atiba might be too slow?
That's who I would think would go out of the team. I know he's experienced.
There's experience that definitely helps him, but there's a point where experience is outmatched by raw pace, raw power, intelligence. And we know Atiba brings all that, but he is past his
for sure. I think where my rationale for putting him in would be like when they have that moment where they're lining up during the anthem and they look around the stadium and they look across and they see De Bruyne. I think you want to have a guy on your team like an Atiba where you can just be like, all right, we got this.
He's been there.
Seen it. He's done everything. He's been in every single Champions League, Europa League, you name it. Like he's
facts.
Been here. So I think that and obviously they have it with Davies, but Davies, you have to remember he just turned 22.
He's still young.
So it's hard to look at him and be like, like
let's rely on him.
Yeah, curious.
And he's a goofy guy too.
He is, yeah. So I think there's something I get calm when I listen to Atiba speak. It's just like it's like the old man in the room is gonna quiet everyone down, settle it down.
Old head.
So for me, that's the main reason why I would start him. Not necessarily for what he does on the pitch. Not that I think he'll be fine on the pitch. I think he's perfectly fine. But I think that's the even bigger factor than like his technical ability or whatever. Because you can make a case that like Ismail Kone on the ball at this point with his legs, like he might actually be a better player right now.
Yeah.
But I don't know that necessarily is like the role you need him for. And I'd rather see Kone come in for 30 minutes off the bench and just go for it, depending on the scenario in the game, and start Atiba for like the first 60.
No, I agree.
Fair.
He's not someone that's like going to be flashy or anything, but he doesn't really get too many things wrong. So I agree with that.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. It might be hard for me to leave Rich and Adekubi out.
It's different.
Yeah. Who do you put him in for though?
I really like them both.
You don't leave him out. Or how do you line up?
I don't know. I don't know if I'm starting Laren.
Why not?
Listen, there's a case.
That could be a case too, though.
He hasn't played much.
Yeah, he has been in bad form.
Yeah, today was pretty invisible, Laren. But like even when he's invisible, you just know he's like one play away. He's one moment away. He'll find his foot on the end of the ball.
He has that experience.
Like he's just that's like the case for him. It's not that he's necessarily going to be like so integral in the build up, but you need to take your chances. And if there's one thing we learned with Laren in a Canada jersey, is like when he gets chances, he scores them. And when you're only going to get 2-3 chances against the Belgium or Croatia. Like I like him in that scenario because I feel like he probably will score.
And he brings a different profile up top as well. Like if you're gonna, who else would you play up top instead of him? Maybe play Hoyle or you play another, someone faster,
up top or something, and then you could play Richie.
But that's a different profile. I think you need someone like a Laren who's big, has that Lukaku kind of build, who's gonna hold up the ball, and that's a player who can be a factor where you do a little one pass with Joe David and he's gone.
Yeah, he's kind of like a poacher.
Exactly.
I know he hasn't been in bad form, but poachers usually tend to score big goals in big games just for being in the right spot.
Yeah.
That's all of World Cup qualifying. The goal against the U.S. and the give and go. Both goals against Mexico.
Exactly.
Right? Like, he just finds himself in the spot. It's like, even if he wasn't part of the build-up necessarily, in that moment, he finds himself in the spot where the ball's going to be. He has that instinct. Yeah. Meet it at the back post. He can meet it, meet his head on it, whatever it needs, whatever you need, right? Yeah, and I don't know that Canada really has that guy other than him. Like,
no, he doesn't.
Not
Jonathan
really. David style
no, he's not.
at
That's
all.
why.
If you watch David today, David wants to be everywhere but the center forward.
Yeah.
He wants to contribute to the build-up, which I love. Like, I think that's when he's at his best. He's really not a striker. He's like a attacking mid, center striker.
Yeah, he's
center
technically
forward.
a cam.
He's a
second
he's like a Griezmann.
Yeah, he's like a second
striker.
striker type, role where he loves to drop in. He loves to pick up the ball. He's a great passer. And that's where he's at his best. So that's the only reason those are the two reasons I start layering, because I think he actually plays better with another, like a central focal striker to take the pressure off of him. And but I think the fact that we can have these debates is like
a good thing.
It's good.
There's actually starting caliber players who are on the bench, which is
We got
really,
depth,
really
yeah.
good, which is really good. So you don't need to be 20 deep in a World Cup. You just need to be 14 deep. 14, 15 deep. If you got 15 guys you feel good about, which I think Canada does, then you can maybe cause a little bit of chaos.
Yeah, and I kind of like a Rich coming in 70th minute, to bring energy.
Yeah,
he came on today and he killed it, and he won the penalty.
He's great.
Yeah.
Right, and he's won a few penalties in the campaign, right? So I think he brings that in that sense.
He's a madman.
He might be the best foul drawer in the tournament. I'm not even exaggerating about that. He just draws them for fun.
And you could tell he's one of those guys who's going to be in your ear.
He's gonna get under people's skin.
He's gonna get under people's skin.
He's the best scrapper on the team, especially late in games when you need to get under the opponent's skin.
Exactly. You bring him on.
Fair.
He gets a yellow no matter what, but he's gonna also
yellow.
get someone else a yellow on their team.
You're right.
You know what I mean? I don't think I watched the game that he didn't get a yellow card.
I also think when he's fighting like that, he gets the team motivated though.
100%.
They get this killer instinct when he comes
fires
out.
them up, bro.
So that would be bad.
like
and then maybe like you sing Adekugbe.
Yeah.
Adekugbe. You bring him on maybe at 30 minutes left, and maybe you bring Davies in a upper, more forward role.
Yeah.
If anything, at the end, you think maybe Joe David or Laren's not doing the job. You want a bit more width. You put, Davies.
And they love to play David and Davies in that free role. Lately, they've been doing it. They tried it against Uruguay, where he played almost like an attacking mid. He was everywhere. He was everywhere on that pitch. And maybe they do that again. Maybe that's one of those things where it's because if there's any part of the team you're like maybe in that they don't really have an attacking midfielder. I know the number 10 position's kind of not really what it used to be in soccer in general, but they don't really have that guy. I think maybe Junior Hoylett, maybe Jonathan Osorio. None of them really play that prototypical 10 role. But I thought Davies in that role was kind of interesting, because usually you want your best player in a position where they can receive the ball in dangerous areas. Yeah. And obviously that is a position where you can receive the ball in dangerous areas.
Touch the ball as much as you can.
So that is, is it my favorite place for him? Probably not, but it's something that obviously Herdman has tried and maybe likes. So that's another thing I would look out for. If they want to go more attacking, sub in Adekugbe, push Davies maybe more centrally. Yeah. Because they have so many talented wingers.
Oh, yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, I think Liam Miller is talented,
Yeah.
but he plays in Davies' position,
Yeah.
so he doesn't
tough.
get that run.
It's tough.
Yeah, but you can tell how much passion he's even had when he got the call up. When he was watching the video, he saw the video where he saw himself getting called up. He was crying, right? So I think
You wouldn't be?
100%.
Oh yeah.
But you can tell how much passion he has, and I think he's gonna get minutes. He'll definitely get minutes.
Yeah, I think it will really depend. It will really depend. He's tricky because, to your point, he's a winger on this team. If he was a center back playing at Basel, playing regularly, starting, But as a winger, it's very difficult with, you're gonna have to displace a Davies or a Buchanan or maybe a Hoylett, all the guys who I think are probably ahead of him in Herdman's mind. And I also think today was the roll call. This was World Cup prep. Everyone who played today, he basically said, "Here's my 11." Obviously without Estacio and Davies. Other than that, here's my 11. And here are the guys I'm going to off the bench. Yeah. Right? The guys we saw. Ismail Kone came off the bench.
Cavallini
off the bench. Osorio off the bench. Kay off the bench. Everyone who played today is going to play in the World Cup.
Yeah.
Cavallini coming in over Ugbo isn't a mistake. That was basically his decision made. Cavallini's the second striker over Ugbo, or the second set, if you don't include David as a striker. He's the first guy off the bench over Ugbo. So whether people like it or not, whether they like it or not, like today was Herdman's statement of intent for how this team's going to play in the World Cup, and the roles are pretty clear, I think, in my mind. Which means a guy like Liam Miller is fantastic, but probably unless there's an injury, I don't know if he's even going to see the field. But that's, again, a good problem to have because he's very good. Yeah. You want to have depth. If somebody does go down, the next man up is going to be able to perform at that level. And I believe in him. I think he's a quality player. Yeah.
But speaking of men being down, Eustachio randomly out today?
Yeah. So in the post-game presser, Herdman was saying it was like they're just taking a cautious approach because they know how valuable he is to the team. So I wouldn't read into it beyond just like he probably felt a little something in training, wasn't 100%. If today was the first game of the World Cup, in my opinion, he's playing.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just a matter of like, not 100%, not going to risk it. The World Cup's way too important. You're way too important. And Porto's been running him into the ground, playing Champions League, playing league games, playing cup matches. It's like he's playing like 270 minutes every 2 days. So
crazy.
I don't.
Yeah, and say a couple months ago he wasn't even like touching pitch.
Now they can't get him off the pitch. Now I'm begging Cohen Sao to just like give him a rest for 30 minutes here or there, so he can't get off the pitch. It's a good problem to have, but also I think Herdman's like acknowledges that, and we're not going to run him into the ground against Japan if we don't need to, and they didn't need to today. Like they were able to go survive with Sam Piet playing 45 minutes. Wasn't fantastic, but he was okay. He did a job, and they got he did good enough to get them to half tied, and then Ismail Kone came in, and I thought was pretty bright for the most part. So it worked out.
But also Davies still not at camp.
Yeah, I saw him training at Bayern.
Yeah, what's happening over there?
He's flying to Qatar today. So he did his last thing with Bayern today, his last testing, and
getting those final shots in.
Yeah, exactly. You know how Bayern does. So they're getting him over to Qatar. He's joining the team. He'll be with the team. Well, I guess tonight, tomorrow, whatever it is, and their time is a little different. But he apparently is not at 100% speed yet, which is something to watch out for.
Yeah, it's tough.
Which hamstring injuries are tough like that. Like you can go weeks not being at 100%. Yeah. So hopefully he's gonna play in the World Cup. We know that. Yeah. Whether he's at his best is very up in the air. If 80% best Davies is still, what I think it can be, we should be all right.
Yeah.
But it's obviously hard when your best player's not 100%, and we know he won't be. So.
It's just scary with a hamstring. If it's not 100%, it's very easy to re-injure. That's the problem. As much as I want him to play, I'm kind of scared for him to play in the first game.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would, if I was Canada, if he's even 98%, I don't even know if I start him.
Maybe he doesn't start.
Maybe he comes in, maybe Adekube starts in that
Maybe Adekube starts and, you bring him on 40, second half.
I feel like Canadian media would go crazy when that lineup drops and he's not in it.
What? Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
Injuries are injuries, man.
Listen, that's an hour of pandemonium, but at the end of the day, it's like,
but
if he's not gonna be able to go for 90, I almost prefer him ending the game.
Exactly.
Yeah. Because you look at you keep him for one game and then he misses the other two potentially, or you play him
you ease him in
30 minutes the first game and then you get him the rest of the tournament.
Yeah. And I think they believe in Adekube. They really trust Adekube.
He's a good player,
he's
man.
He's good. He's a very good player. And
obviously he's not Davies, but he's great.
I think they're solid. They're solid. They're solid around the pitch. They believe in I don't know how depth wise, how deep we can really go and still feel good. But the 11 that played today were solid. Everyone did their job. Everyone knows their role in this team. When you add Eustachio and Davies, it's even better. Obviously, those are two of your most important players. So they know. That's what I'm saying. You don't need to be 20, 25, 20, 30 deep. I mean, it doesn't help. The Netherlands are leaving world-class center backs at home. Brazil's leaving world-class players at home. That doesn't. At the end of the day, none of that matters, right? It matters. You got to be able to have 15 guys you feel good about.
Yeah.
And if you have 15 guys you feel good about, and you get a little bit of luck and no one gets hurt, you can go make a run. And we've seen this with countries that don't have a tremendous amount of depth and talent. Like Croatia makes a World Cup final riding their guys. Their number one guys were playing 90s every match.
Yeah, legit.
And right? And
more than 90s. They're playing extra time every game.
Penalties every game. Yeah. But they were riding them because they didn't have the depth. You can't take out Modric. He's playing. He's playing through it. So that's where we're not at the stage where we're going to be subbing guys, our best players in and out of lineups for fitness. But you don't necessarily have to have a good run in a World Cup. You just need to have 15 guys you feel good about, and I think we have 15 guys we feel good about.
Yeah, I agree.
Speaking of Davies and Eustachio being key players for Canada, who's one or two players that people who aren't too familiar with Canadian football should look into. Should be like, okay, he's gonna be that guy. He's gonna be like a low key kind of player. Who's that guy?
Who do you got?
Who do I got?
Damn.
You asked the question. Who you got,
man? Who you got?
I don't know. Like if he's starting, then definitely Larea, because he's someone that's versatile. He could play, fullback. He could play in the mid as well. He offers that energy, that drive to kind of bring the team forward and encourage everyone. I think Larea is that kind of guy.
For me, I'll say Alistair Johnston.
Yeah.
A rumor came out today he's going to Bologna after the World Cup,
I was telling these guys before the pod.
which is massive. And I just think he's solid. Like, he's so good defensively. And some of the through balls I was seeing him like ping today,
He can ping a ball.
like so crisp.
Yeah.
Like I think he's a bloody talent. And I think like he set a record for most consecutive Canada games.
Yeah.
Really?
Herdman loves him.
I honestly think
him.
he's the first name on Herdman's team sheet. Like literally the first.
He's always available.
Maybe Borjan because like he's a keeper. Like there's less like
And he wears
numbers.
Yeah.
But besides that, I think Alistair Johnston is Herdman's like first name on the team sheet.
He's that guy, man.
Yeah,
He really is that guy.
he's so good and so versatile.
Yeah,
Who do you guys got?
I have to agree with you. I think
Alistair, huh?
Alistair's gonna be key, and he's not scared to go into tackles hard as well. He's got the pace with him too, so I think he's gonna be a good, player. I really want to see how Kone plays though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna mention
really
Kone,
wanna
but
see how
nobody
it
said
plays.
nobody said Kone. But I'm gonna do somebody different. I'll say a guy who never gets love, but I feel like has been really steady. Steven Vittoria. This team is a different team when he plays at the back. He's just reliable. He's smart. He knows when he's beat and he's got to take a foul. He knows when he's got to play from the back and when he doesn't because he's getting pressed too hard and he's got to just clear it. Like, he's just cerebral, very smart player. Yeah. And you need your center half to be like, one of the smart. I always think your center back's got to be the smartest guys on the pitch. They gotta be tracking runs all game long. They got to know, everyone's tendencies. And I feel like he's like the wise old man at the back, And when they didn't have him against Bahrain, obviously they didn't have a lot of guys, but I feel like that was the most noticeable because they had Kamal Miller, they had Alistair Johnson, but the back line looked shaky.
Yeah.
Today they looked a lot better, and I think a big reason for that was Steven Vittoria's presence back there. It just calms everyone down.
Yeah. And he talks to everyone.
Yeah.
He's always talking, and that's what you want as a center back.
Yeah.
Right? You know what I mean? Definitely guy.
Who do you got, Spatty?
He's not like a low key guy, but I would say he's low key right now just because he's been in bad form. Kyle Larin.
Kyle Larin.
He's low key. Yeah, he's coming into the tournament in bad form, but whatever. I think he's gonna be the guy to score those big goals for us. He's gonna be. I think he might be one of our top players this tournament.
I think he might be a top goal scorer. I think he might get
Oh,
more. I
there
think
you
he
go.
might
Love
get
that.
more goals.
There you go.
I think he
For
might get more
Canada
goals.
or
For Canada,
in the
yeah.
World Cup?
Canada.
Okay. I was gonna say Golden Boot. Kyle Larin.
Golden Boot's a little crazy.
Come on.
Place that bet.
Lock it in.
No, I think Laren's probably gonna get the most goals. He's gonna get a lot of service.
Yeah, I
from
think
both wingers and Joe Davis playing as hit the false nine striker. Center back.
False nine center back.
That's it.
Yeah. I think if we're gonna win any games, we're gonna.
Laren's
going
gonna be the guy who's gonna be scoring those 90-minute headers, those set pieces. He's gonna be that crucial guy, I think.
Yeah.
And he'll get the first goal.
I
think
can see
he'll
it.
get the first goal. Who do you guys think is gonna get the first goal for Canada?
You just said it.
Kyle Larin.
saying Kyle Larin, man.
If he gets the start first game against Belgium, is he scoring against Belgium?
I think he's scoring against Belgium. Who do you guys got?
I think it might be Joe David, man.
Yeah.
I have a
It's gonna be
feeling.
somebody nobody's expecting. It's gonna be like today,
It might
like
be, yeah.
Victoria,
Victoria,
like a set piece,
Like a Kamal Miller back
it'd be
post.
somebody random.
They're gonna be down
Yeah.
3-0.
Yeah.
Borjan's gonna come up for like a 90th minute header, just to get a
Imagine.
consolation goal.
For the goal difference.
People are gonna like in the annals of history, we're gonna look back and be like, who scored that? Liam Fraser scored the first ever goal.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
It's cheeky.
I think I'm just gonna I'm not gonna try to be different with it. Davies.
First goal, yeah.
Yeah, Davies getting that first goal. He's gonna absolutely pace through the Belgium defense. That slow Belgium defense.
Maybe he
Very
gets,
slow.
maybe he gets fouls,
Sluggish.
Maybe
man.
gets a cheeky foul, but
takes a penalty.
I was gonna
he's
say
not
who
the
takes
pen.
yeah, it's
Oh,
Belgium.
who's the
It's probably
pen
David.
taker?
That's
It's
what I'm
probably David.
saying.
So today was interesting. This is a good topic to bring up, and I wanted to talk about this because obviously we didn't talk about it. Cavallini takes the penalty.
Oh my gosh, man.
Cheeky
It was a
Panenka.
Yeah.
It
So
was,
lucky.
It was a Panenka. It wasn't a good Panenka.
No, not at
So
all.
lucky.
He left a little bit too much on it. So
Yeah.
he let I guess if you're gonna, I don't Panenka because I don't have the facilities for that.
Yeah.
But if I did Panenka, I would want to kill the ball enough to the point where if the keeper dives one way or the other, he can't still then
Reach
it's
up.
not slow.
Exactly.
It's not quick enough that he's like diving there and he can still react for it. You want him to be out of the play completely.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a great Panenka. We know that. But it begs the question: who does take the penalties? Because it seemed to me that Herdman was indicating David, and I saw something in the post game where they said somebody who was in the stadium in Dubai was like Herdman was shouting for David to take it, but obviously they convened and they talked, and Cavallini took the ball, which is fine. I think David probably takes it. David is not a fantastic penalty taker. He's taken them this season at Lille. He has an okay conversion rate, but nothing that you would like. You don't love it.
It's not a Neymar conversion rate.
Like he has missed this year multiple times. So it is what it is. Davies obviously is never in that position for club, but he's your highest profile player.
Yeah.
Your most experienced player is Atiba, but he never takes penalties. So it's really like Larin took
Laren's
one.
a good shout, but
Larin, but like I don't really the way Larin. He doesn't strike me as a penalty guy. Like, he just waste the ball.
Like were we getting any pens in qualifying?
Larin took one. Davies took like they kind of just moved them around.
Whoever got the foul.
Yeah, it was a no. They never at any point. Junior Hoylett might be our best penalty kick taker, and he also did take one in World Cup qualifying, or in the Gold Cup or something, or maybe both. He's taken a few for Canada. So I don't know. It's I always think about this question, like who's and I landed on this. The guy who does take penalties for his club is Steven Vittoria.
What?
And he's very good at them. He's very good at them. So I don't know if it would ever happen, but Steven Vittoria is like one of the only guys on the team who takes penalties for his club and scores regularly.
It's weird.
Man, but
he's that guy.
Can you trust the center back?
I don't know.
We've seen
You can hate seeing center back take pens, man.
You can trust him though. You can trust Vittoria though.
Like when you would see Sergio
Ramos
Ramos
you don't
going
expect
up.
him to score. That's why.
Ramos was nice though.
Ramos was nice.
Ramos was a good goal.
But then you'd always have that one where he just went.
But all players have that where they try to do a little too much and then it doesn't come off, right?
That's a good shot.
Even Neymar had that shot.
If you guys have like on your social media, put a poll out. Who would you want? Who would you feel most confident
taking a
penalty?
You know
in a
what?
World
That's not
Cup
bad.
I feel like they might just go with like the hot foot. Like they might do like a training session before the game and see who's most confident during that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
all I'm saying is we better not go to penalties, and if we make the round of 16, is it?
Oh my gosh,
it's
gonna be
not a lot of guys.
I don't like how they don't have a designated penalty taker.
It kind of bothers
you need
me too.
one, man.
I didn't even like come to my head. Like there isn't one.
No.
I don't like. I feel like I don't know. Like for me, like I love Joe David, but when he misses, it pisses me off because his misses are bad.
Yeah.
He misses a lot of sitters. Like
he also doesn't hit the ball very hard.
Yeah.
He's a finesse type striker. Like he'll pick a corner.
Yeah.
But all his misses have been, he kind of opens his foot up and he tries to guide it, and the keeper just gets there. And when you're playing, if like it's a Courtois or a keeper that's you gotta it's gotta hit him with conviction. Like, I don't know. I don't feel good about anybody is like the short answer.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe I think Davies. You've seen him, in practice. Probably seeing Lewandowski taking those penalties. Maybe you learned something from him.
At the end of the day, he plays at Bayern, so if there's anybody, no one's gonna question it.
Yeah,
like, if he steps up to the spot, he's the best player on the team. If he misses, no one's gonna say anything.
I think Davies should take
fair enough.
I'm leaning a bit towards Kyle Larin.
Damn,
you think so?
I think
I feel like I've seen him take a penalty for Canada.
He took one in the Honduras game.
Yeah,
where we drew the very first game.
Did he score?
He scored,
okay,
but it wasn't.
It wasn't a good shot.
I don't know. Like
it was a goal, but it was like the keeper just dove the wrong way, and he kind of put it middle left. Like it wasn't.
Like I said, I feel like
maybe Eustachio.
Joe David's like misses hurt.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I can see Eustachio
maybe
actually.
Eustachio. Because he's pretty good on like free kicks.
He's been in good form too.
He's good at hitting a ball.
Yeah,
that's all we know.
Good form. Yeah.
Okay,
we know Osorio's not taking a pen. Osorio's I think 0 for 5.
Yeah,
so we know he's not taking a pen. I think I'd throw Milan Borjan has scored a pen.
Yeah,
he scored more pens.
I was gonna say that
he has scored more pens than Jonathan Osorio in his club career.
That's raw. That's wild.
Yeah, they showed him selling.
In
that video.
He did.
In the little promo. Yeah.
So
maybe
Throw him in there, man.
Yeah.
Okay. How about? Because it'll be hard to narrow it down to one. Let's say penalty does get to a shootout. Canada gets to a penalty shootout. Who are the 5 shooters?
Who are the 5 shooters?
Yeah.
Eustachio, Davies, David.
I'm throwing Buchanan because he's got swag, and I feel like
Buchanan
I think he'll just lace it.
And probably Vittorio would probably be one of the.
You don't give it to Atiba.
I don't think he's a good penalty kick taker.
Yeah, I don't think he is.
He's like Joe David. I think he just kind of guides everything.
Yeah. Just good scoring with the back of his head.
I would like whatever your swag rankings for the team are. Like throw me Ismail Kone. Like just give me the swaggiest players. Those are always the best penalty.
Yeah, I don't.
They don't give up. They don't care.
Yeah, I don't like nervous players.
Yeah.
Nah,
It's like it's players that look nervous too. Maybe they're not on the inside, but like don't portray to me that you're nervous.
No,
I'm
like
not gonna want you to take the pen.
Whoever shows up to the game with the biggest chain on, that's who takes
Yeah, like you said, Buchanan has swag, man.
Yeah.
he does.
I wouldn't mind him taking a pen.
I like
I'm not
Hoyland,
gonna be
man.
mad if he misses because I know he's confident.
Yeah.
Fair. I like Hoyland, man.
I just really hope.
Hoylett, I think I would do Hoylett
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
I just really hope that they hit it with conviction, man. They put the power behind it. Even if it's not a good penalty, you put power behind it. The goalie goes underneath his arm or something. Like, hit it hard. You know what I mean? So, I think Laren can be one of. I think Laren's a striker who's just gonna.
The thing with Laren, I feel like if they give it to Laren and he misses, his confidence for the whole tournament might go straight down.
bro.
Yeah.
It's gonna be shot.
Yeah.
Like especially if they get in the first game against Belgium. Jeez, you gotta think about that too. You gotta go with someone with confidence
honestly,
of steel, man.
It's another reason to start Hoylett. I think we all feel pretty decent about Hoylett.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I'm happy with him starting at this point. You guys won me over. I'm happy with Hoyle starting. Okay, so let's lock in our predictions for Canada Belgium. What's the score of the game? What's happening?
Oh my gosh.
Let's start right here. Let's start right here.
I don't think I think they're gonna lose, but I think
Lose.
I think they're gonna lose.
Jeez.
I think they'll lose, but I think they'll put up a fight, and I think that's what's most important to start the tournament. So you figure they have to get 4 points in this group to have a chance.
Yeah.
And so they don't necessarily need to get anything from the first game, but they need to gain some confidence in the first game to be able to say, okay, we can get something from Croatia.
Yeah.
That's really what they're playing for. So it'd be great if they surprised everyone, but I'm going to say I don't think they get their first goal in the tournament. I think they lose 2-0 in the first game.
Yeah. Jeez, man.
I agree with them losing.
After us just boosting Canada, they're
Yeah.
gonna lose the first game.
You gotta keep it real, bro. Belgium's damn good though.
They're the best team in the group.
Yeah.
I think they're coming away with 9 points in this group.
Really?
But I don't think they're gonna get killed by them. I think they're gonna lose. I think they're gonna get their first goal in this game. I think they're gonna be down 2-0 at first, but then I think they'll bring it back to 2-1.
So is that your final score?
But yeah, that's probably my final score.
2-1?
2-1.
2-1 Belgium.
Who's scoring the goal?
Laren.
Jeez.
A little tapping.
Cheeky.
A little header.
That's for the 95s, eh?
Yeah.
I don't know. Me personally, I feel like Canada's gonna be a little shaky to start off this first game. Belgium are gonna overpower them a little bit, I think. So I'm saying like Belgium 3-0 maybe.
3-0.
Second game, I feel like Canada's gonna score though.
Gonna
3-0
score.
Belgium.
I'll win. Oof. I'm gonna go 1-1 because everyone else is saying loss, so I'm gonna try to break the streak here a little bit. I think it's gonna be a gritty game, and I think they're gonna have to park it a little bit. But I think that with the players they have on the pitch, I think that favors them well. And like Jay was mentioning, Belgium's backline isn't the quickest, and I think their midfield has, other than De Bruyne, has aged quite a bit. I mean, Witzel isn't the fastest anymore, and while he's good in possession, I think like if you're able to counterattack that Belgian team, I think you have a chance at maybe an easy shot at goal and maybe a good chance to nick that first goal. Yeah, that's a very hopeful 1-1.
Is Witzel supposed to be playing center back for them?
No, I think he'll be playing
No,
midfield.
Midfield.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They got the same center backs they had in 2018.
Yeah.
It's been the same
Literally.
guy for the last decade. So.
Except they all play in Belgium now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think at the end of the day, I think Belgium is going to win, but I think Canada's going to score first.
Ooh.
Interesting.
I think, as you were saying, their defense is aging. What better team than a young team like us that are going to be playing, like you say, maybe in a 3-5-2 formation with wingers, a lot of width play,
A lot of pace.
a lot of pace in that width as well. I think we're going to kind of spook them in a bit, and we're going to go in hard. We're going to go, like, right after the whistle, we're going to go in hard. And I think that's because of the gaffer. He's going to tell them to go in hard. Who cares what happens? Whatever what the score is, who cares? But I want you guys to play at 110%. And I think that's why we'll get the first goal. And then after that,
Belgium will settle in the
going to
game.
get relaxed. Now we know that this team is the actual team that we have to, play against. I think our first goal is going to be Davies or Eustachio. But I think we're going to score first, but then we're going to lose 2-1.
Interesting.
Nice.
Interesting.
Another 2-1.
De Bruyne is going to lock in.
Take over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a tough player to stop, man. He really is.
But I think that back line, man, is the biggest thing. And we have so much pace, so much width. And I think just that alone is going to give us...
gives you a chance.
It's going to give us a fighting chance.
Gives you a chance.
So I wouldn't be surprised if we win.
Hey. Crazy things have happened.
No,
right?
you got it. Yeah, they have proven to everyone over the course of the last year and a half that results like today aren't a fluke, right? Yeah. Like when you do it consistently, you've done it against the U.S., you've done it against Mexico, you've done it against Japan. Played a really damn good game against Uruguay. Didn't get anything from it, but I thought had a really
we had a
really
good game
long
there,
spells of good play. So it's like at this point, nothing should surprise people. Having said that, really good teams lose to great teams still. And Belgium's a great team, and Croatia's a great team. So that's where people have to temper their expectations. Is like not to say that like if somebody predicts Canada lose all 3 games, that's fair because Canada still probably will struggle to win any of these games or even get a point in this group. But that's not an indictment of how much progress we've made or how good this team is. The fact that we're competing with these teams and like actually competing, and that we can have a discussion about might be able to nip a goal here, might be able to like maybe steal a point. Like this is not this 2 years ago would have been a joke to everybody. So
that's true.
We have to remember that too. Is like we're whether we finish this group and we somehow get out of it, or we finish with 0 points and 1 goal or whatever you think is like a nightmare. I promise you, it's like in the long run, this is a huge building block.
For sure.
If we can compete at this level, which we've shown we can, this is going to be huge for 2026.
2026, the real tournament.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say 2-1 Canada.
I knew
it's gotta be
Canada.
different.
No, I want to be confident heading into it. Belgium will definitely score 100%.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Canada's attack just has like swag, like a lot of speed.
Yeah, I heard swag is the killer.
Yeah, like from a counter-attacking standpoint, I think Canada could do damage.
Exactly.
So,
and no Lukaku, it looks like, not for the first game anyways.
No,
which is something to the strikers that have bothered this Canadian backline the most are those like bigger strikers.
Yeah.
Like Nunez had a field day. And so I think that's an interesting, like, because their next man up.
Exactly. Who's that?
Batshuayi.
And
right.
He's
and
not
like
good form.
good, but he's not Lukaku.
Yeah.
So
I feel like besides Lukaku, the only attacker that's in form right now is Trossard.
Yeah.
Hazard doesn't play. The other Hazard's playing defense.
Isn't Eden Hazard actually playing though?
He's probably gonna play.
He'll probably play.
He's gonna play.
He's the captain.
Yeah, he's captain.
He's
right?
in the lineup.
Yeah, he's gonna play. He's gonna play.
Trossard and De Bruyne are right now.
Trossard and De Bruyne is the only
dangerous
dangerous guys up
maybe
there.
Tielemans. Yeah,
he's on and off too.
But attacking wise, you have no one.
Every game.
Yeah.
He'll either play unreal against you or he's gonna play. He'll be ghost.
And I don't see any more other like attacking players who are gonna be very.
Is Mertens gonna be starting?
No.
Has he been at Galatasaray?
I don't think he'll start. I don't know who they'll start.
They got Carrasco too, but even him, he's playing on a poor side of
and when he does
Atletico
play,
Madrid.
like wing back.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
they got those young kids, between Doku, De Ketelaere.
Maybe Doku's
some guys. They got some guys. Like I don't even know what we're gonna see without Lukaku. It's kind of a
it is
little bit of a
crapshoot.
Yeah.
Hard to game plan because you don't really know.
Maybe they should put Titi Henry in there.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised he pings a goal in.
Yeah, he could. He could still.
He could.
He's talented. A lot of talent there.
But no, that's good. We'll see.
who will be Canada's flop of the tournament?
Ooh.
Like player?
Yeah.
I don't want to say this, man. I don't want to put this into existence.
Yeah,
I got Tejon Buchanan.
Whoa.
he's even getting a lot of hype. He's a great player, but
I can see that.
Maybe the
though.
hype.
That
is,
breaks my heart.
it's gonna
I
be
know.
too much.
I can see that. I like Tejon, but I can see that.
Jay's tearing up
Larea
over
maybe
there.
taking over.
If
tournament.
Tejon starts, he's not playing too well. Laredo starts to find his minutes, starts to find his groove. You never know. Next game he starts. Laredo.
Obviously, I hope this doesn't happen, but I'm just
But
saying.
I can see that happening.
That would be my
Tejon
guess.
does have his times where he does go a little ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah. He has his off games.
See, the thing is, for somebody to be a flop, they're gonna have to be one of the high-profile players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, like we're not gonna. It's not gonna be
Piet.
Jonathan Osorio.
Yeah.
Right? No, Osorio's a great player, but like it's gonna be one of the big guys. I don't know. I think it'll be easy to say a striker if Canada doesn't score a bunch of goals. Like it's easy to say, oh, David didn't score. That what a flop of a World Cup, or Laren didn't score. So it'll probably be one of those two guys. Whoever doesn't score. I also think like there's this idea that Canada's gonna score a bunch of goals in this group. And like the over/under was set at 2.5 for the group stage, and people are like, oh, 2.5, that's disrespectful. It's like, yeah, but Belgium, Croatia, Morocco, guys, come on, like,
Good teams.
yeah,
These aren't bum teams.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
come on.
like
Like all three.
Are you gonna score in all three of those games? Because that's essentially what you'll have to do if you're gonna go on the over. So unless you're getting multiple goals against Belgium, I guess it could happen. But I thought it was fair. I don't think there's gonna be a ton of goals in these games. I think Canada knows that.
Yeah.
Which is why I was encouraged by the game today, because this is exactly how you'll win a game in a World Cup.
Yeah.
You have, you concede one fantastic goal that you just kind of tip your cap and move on. You score one goal that was off a set piece, and then you win a penalty late and you win it, right? Like that's how you're going to win a game in a World Cup. If you're upsetting any of these teams, it's going to be ugly like that.
Yeah.
So maybe one of the strikers. I'll go Laren, but I hope I'm wrong too.
Yeah. I could low-key see Buchanan as well, man. Because, like, he does have, like, those periods, like, where he kind of goes. He's just invisible out there and, like, doesn't really do too much. I don't know. I feel like maybe him.
Yeah, Buchanan.
Everyone's going Tejan.
There was a time where he wasn't playing much for Belgium.
Yeah, he had the injuries though. Yeah, as soon as he's been back, he's been
playing.
But he's been playing a little bit more defensive for them too. But
yeah, he's got a weird role in that team.
Yeah, he's like left back, right back.
Yeah,
I think he was playing like as a third center back one game too. I saw on like a team sheet. He's been playing all over the place, but
I guess it's a player you can trust, so
he can defend.
I really hope he doesn't. He's not the one, but I think he would be if anything.
Yeah, I think maybe from like an offensive standpoint, because I think against the teams that you're playing, they're gonna have a lot of the ball, and I think like even if Tejan's playing as like a winger, he's gonna have to defend a lot, and I think he's gonna have to flex those defensive muscles and really hold it back. So maybe from an offensive standpoint, we might not see him, taking on players and dribbling and attacking as much as maybe we might like. So maybe at that point, but I think even if he doesn't do much offensively, he's solid defensively.
He is, and look, even when he played for New England, he was playing as a left back.
A lot of
right?
a lot of wing back.
He knows how to play. He has a defensive mindset as well. So I think
whole team really, the whole team. There was a play today. Oh man, there was a play today. I wish I could clip it. If I rewatch it, I actually will. Where Canada loses the ball, might have been off a corner, and there's a counterattack, and there's like 8 or 9 Canadian shirts that get back. It's like the 85th minute, and you could tell the whole team did not look like a friendly. They busted it back. Just totally killed the Japanese counterattack. And then a few minutes later, they were rewarded with a winning goal. But I just think that's instilled in the team. They know to compete with these teams, you're going to have to defend with 11 guys. Yeah. And if you can't do that, you're going to get subbed out. And I think everyone's on the same page about that. And they have high work rate guys to begin with. Like Buchanan's a high work rate guy. Larrea's high work rate. Like Johnston, everyone. All these guys, they're two-way players. Jonathan David as a striker probably does more running than any striker ever. Like the guy's playing. Yeah. Because I don't think he likes being a striker because he doesn't act like that. He plays everywhere but the center forward.
You got to see that heat map, man.
Yeah. He does a lot of mileage on the field, and he likes to be involved in duels, and he likes to win the ball back. And today his best trait was he was winning the ball back in dangerous areas. And that's what he does. He presses you, he tracks back, he just runs a lot. The whole team, that's the identity of this team. Is they're gonna defend with 11, they're gonna attack with 11, and they work hard. So
the gaffers got them watching Man City games.
Yeah.
That high press.
Cover that ground.
Come back, go up fast. Which is a good thing. You want that in a team, and that's what you're gonna get from a young team. You know what I mean? Yeah. So we can be very explosive.
Would it be crazy if I said Davies?
Nope.
No, I don't think so.
No, especially with the injury, I think it's
it's fair.
Tough for him to I think it's gonna be tough for him to hit
that's true though.
Stride again.
Yeah.
That's true. That's scary.
What if?
I hope not.
Someone else got to step up.
I really hope not.
I hope so, but let's say who's a player that will get a big move after the tournament?
Well, you already said it.
Yeah, Johnston.
You think he's that guy? It'll happen?
The link. I don't know if you guys know the Bologna and CF Montreal connection.
Oh yeah,
owned by the same guy, right?
Saputo owns. He's the chairman of Bologna and he owns CF Montreal. So they have this relationship already, which is why every time there's a good player in Montreal, there's always a rumor with Bologna. So I would take it with a grain of salt because it's it's clockwork. I knew it was coming. Having said that, if he doesn't move to Bologna, he'll move somewhere because he's a good player. So Johnston would be at the top of the list. But I think the number one guy is another CF Montreal guy, but absolutely destined for a move is Ismail Kone.
Yeah, I really want to see him go somewhere. I really, really want to see him go something. He's got that, I don't know what it is, Pogba build.
He's talented.
Yep. You know what I mean? And I think you can see when I saw him first come on, he's this guy's got something different that not many.
He's got that aura, that midfielder aura where he's just he's very technical, comfortable on the ball, and it's when you get the ball, you're just excited to see what he's gonna do with it. You know?
The way he moves is just so different.
It is.
Let's say you put him, you put him and Mac right beside each other. In terms of how they move on the ball, it's night and day, right?
It's like Pogba. I'm telling you, what Pogba, he just. The way he moves, but he's able to hold the ball. He's fast with it. It's just he's elegant. It's at his elegant and it's at his own pace.
Yeah, he's elegant.
Yeah.
He's elegant with the ball.
The thing is, I wouldn't want him to get too big of a move.
That's true.
Not in a top 5, but just under the top 5. Eredivisie, Belgian league.
Yeah.
All the moves were it was a Norwich and Sheffield, so 2 championship sides.
Yeah, that's not bad
and they both
either.
fell through. I do think though. I think the price went up. I think over the last few months because that was prior to this whole stretch he went on where he was scoring. He had goal in the MLS Cup playoffs to win a match for Montreal. Like he's just been on a tear.
But even him just making the World Cup squad already brings the price up.
Yeah.
And has eyes on him. Like
once he gets minutes, it's gonna go up.
Even if he doesn't get minutes, there's eyes on him. Like,
yeah,
why
if
is this
he
young
comes
guy?
on, and then I think a lot more eyes are on. The World Cup is one of those stages where you're gonna have
James Rodriguez.
all the eyes on you, and it's all it takes is one good
Right
performance. And there's going to be teams going after you.
Maybe he scores a banger. He scores a banger, and then he's gone off to Madrid.
Imagine.
I think I have this sneaky suspicion. No information or insight on this, but I just want to put it in the radio waves so that we can look back if I was right.
Manifest this.
Yeah, I want to manifest it. I think it's gonna be a move to Ligue 1. And I think it's gonna be Marseille. I don't know why.
Marseille.
Makes sense
Yeah,
in
cool
my head.
move.
That's a
Makes
cheeky
sense in
one.
my head.
It is very cheeky.
You just gotta deal with those
I could
crazy
see
ass
him,
fans.
Yeah.
Marseille or a Lille or a
Yeah, one of
what's the other
those.
team that Doku plays for?
Like Rennes.
Rennes.
Stade Rennes.
Rennes.
Yeah.
Stade Rennes.
They got a good eye for talent in France.
If
man.
you went to Lille, it wouldn't be bad. They have a tendency for bringing up young players.
Exactly.
The whole league really actually
The whole
they
league
do.
does,
It's
yeah.
a great league.
They
for them.
develop
Yeah,
well.
actually is, yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like that'll be a good place for him, where you don't have some of the pressure that you get in England or because for young players that could be even really good ones that could be tough.
Oh my
Too much
gosh,
pressure.
Of course.
I would love to see that. Ligue 1 for me would be like an ideal move for him.
Joe David rumored to go to Manchester United after the tournament to replace Ronaldo.
Yeah, if he wants to ruin his career.
So that's one.
Yeah.
I don't think ruin his career. He's gonna have one of the best.
I don't know, bro.
One
United
of the best
That
gaffers.
ruin
though.
everybody, man.
Yeah, but he's got a good gaffer now, right?
We'll see.
It's the club's still like very toxic.
Yeah.
It is. Ronaldo leaving is definitely 100%, so they're gonna need a striker. I think that might be a good fit.
I'd rather see Joe David go to like Milan or something.
Milan.
Imagine the pressure though. You're the guy who came in to replace Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's way too
A
much.
Canadian
pressure.
boy.
You're already getting off to a tough start with that, and then add on the Man United media, which is like nothing like
insane.
I'm sure like it is in Lille.
Mm-hmm.
And
Right.
he gets the number 7. Imagine.
Oh God.
No.
Nah, chill.
Come on.
That number 7.
Number 7's cursed, bro.
That number 7 kills players, man. Look at Antonio Valencia. He got number 7, went straight back to 25.
Yeah.
Was
afterwards.
Di Maria number 7 too?
I think he was.
He was, he was.
Was the pie number
Depay
7?
was
Yeah.
number 7.
Alexis.
Alexis was
Alexis,
number
yeah.
7. Dude.
It's a curse, bro.
Hey.
But on the flip side of what you guys are saying, I think Tayshaun Buchanan gets even more eyes on him this tournament. Get an
I
even
hope
bigger
so.
move.
I hope so.
Hopefully, man.
Maybe an Arsenal. Imagine.
Pretty cool.
Arsenal.
See, he could go to the Premier League. He's already done that step up.
Yeah.
Now he could make that big move.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind seeing him at a team like Arsenal. That'd be cool.
Maybe a Serie squad.
I don't see him. Doesn't seem
No?
like a City out
Doesn't
type
seem
player.
like a Serie A player.
You don't think so? High work rate.
He could go. I could see him.
Like a
going.
wing back?
I could see him going to Ligue 1 as well.
Yeah.
That'd be a nice one. Yeah.
There's all those Bundesliga rumors, and I kind of wish they happened. It was Freiburg was the big club at the time.
Oh, that'd be huge.
yeah.
That'd be
They wanted him.
Freiburg are a good team too.
Yeah.
No, he'd be good if he went to Leverkusen. Leverkusen
A
has
whole bunch of those teams.
Leverkusen has a good foundation for young talent.
I think he'd be good at Freiburg just because Freiburg play that similar system to Canada and similar to how he's playing right now, kind
There
of
you
that
go.
wing back role. So I think he'd slot
That'd be good
almost
too, then.
right in at Freiburg, and they're a talented side, man. European
Yeah.
football and
Grifo.
kind of
more
under the radar,
opportunity.
under a radar
Minutes.
team. Not a lot of pressure, I'd imagine. So it's a good place to kind of stake your claim. The next thing you know, he's playing for Bayern.
I mean, I'd love for the whole team to get moves
Yeah,
because I just want them to kill
you
it.
want everybody to eat.
Yeah, I
Except
want
for Estacio, man. Estacio's in the perfect spot. I was
Yeah,
surprised
he
now,
is.
like
I think he's chilling, bro. He's
just,
good there.
Yeah, man. He's playing Portugal. He's being a Portuguese Canadian. Like that's got to be sick. Playing for one of the big 2 or 3 in Portugal,
Champions
League, and the coach loves him.
Yeah.
What more could you ask for?
Exactly.
To get
Playing 90 minutes plus.
every game.
Yeah, he could stay.
Yeah, so
And-
everyone else
and
can move. Davies can
Davies,
stay. He
yeah.
can stay.
But even him, I could see him
Yeah.
getting even a bigger move after
Madrid?
that. If
Yeah.
he plays good. No,
But then you think about do you even want right now he's got a great thing going.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like you don't know, you make that move and maybe your minutes are more sporadic or whatever. Like he's got a great thing going where the coach trusts him and the team is good and there's really no reason for him to lose his spot. It's like, I could see him just being a mainstay in that 11 for 5-6 years. And just
Yeah, and he had to fight for that spot too.
He did.
Exactly.
Like he was in the mud for a little bit at
Yeah.
Porto
Yeah.
early on.
He was.
He wasn't even getting on the
minutes.
team sheet.
I know.
Yeah.
Nothing. And most players want Champions League. He's got it. So where else is he going to go?
And,
a good
they'll get
situation.
it every year. Like really,
Exactly.
they'll be up there. If they're not in
Exactly.
Champions League at the very worst, they'll be in Europa. But
Yeah.
every year he'll be in European competition. So
and maybe next year he'll be playing with Sui Ronaldo.
Porto.
I don't know if Ronaldo will be going to Porto. I don't know, man.
Who knows?
But but as we close out this Canada chat, let's finish maybe with this final question: will Canada make it out of the group?
Ooh.
People are gonna hate me, man. I don't think they're gonna make it out of the group, but I don't think they need to make it out of the group for it to be a good World Cup. Like I really don't. My gauge for success is not can Canada progress from the group, and I think if your gauge for success is can Canada get out of the group, I think you're already off to a losing start because that's not really like really good teams will miss. Like this Japan team we played today are probably not going to the round of 16, but they're very talented. So I don't know. I'm gonna say no. And Canada might finish fourth even because Morocco's very good. They had a really big. They beat up on Georgia today, and like I think I'll say Canada third to be conservative, but they don't get out of the group, but they prove to the world that Canada can play at that level, and that Canadians aren't. We're not just a hockey country. We can play football. We can produce great talent. And I think it opens up moves for a whole bunch of our players on our national team. Yeah. Which is really what this is about, I think. Exactly. Building towards 2026.
Yeah.
So I agree. That's where I'll land.
Yeah. I don't got them coming out either. Belgium and Croatia are too strong to pass on. But I do see them pulling out a result against Morocco. They just brought in a new gaffer, so I know he doesn't know his team 100%. Yeah, they beat on Georgia, but
it's Georgia.
Georgia,
yeah. It'll be different in this World Cup, but I'm more expecting them to do something next World Cup, especially with all this young talent coming up. I heard there's this insane kid that's in the Inter Youth Academy, Canadian kid that's wanted by Madrid, Barca. I forgot his name.
Yeah, I got it. Yellow, Dang. No, it'll come.
Something like that. Yeah. But yeah, so they're having like kids like this that's wanted by the biggest clubs in the world coming up. Hey, in 4 years, Canada's...
Yeah, I feel like half the roster that is going to be playing in 2026, we don't even know their names right now. Because there's going to be so many players that come out of the woodwork, and they're so much more talented than anything we've ever seen from Canada, and they're just going to take it by storm. Yeah. Right, which is good.
This is practice.
Yeah. That's so crazy to think about how different the team could look.
It is. The CPL, like, oh my God, we don't talk about this nearly enough in this country, but the CPL, we just had a kid transfer, Victor Latore, from Cavalry to Ross County in the Scottish Premier League. He starts every game for them now, plays 90 minutes every game in the midfield, 21 years old. Damn. Like, that's just, that pathway didn't exist 2 years ago. No. That didn't even, where would a guy like that even go play? Exactly. I would have stopped playing soccer. Now he's probably like pushing on the verge of the national team.
Maybe,
right? I think after Qatar, we'll probably start to see guys like that get called. But like, just to think that Joel Waterman's another one, right? From obscurity. Like, these are guys who were playing Canadian university soccer, and now this guy's on the national team traveling with the team into Qatar. Unbelievable. Crazy. So that pathway is going to change our soccer landscape more than people even acknowledge.
Yeah. Even Di Rosario's son, he's pretty damn good.
Talented. He's nice. Good. To sign a 2-year contract. I wouldn't be surprised he leaves after one.
Yeah, no.
He might get a move after this season.
He might move. Yeah, like those guys are prone to move at any time. If he gets off to a hot start next season, they'll move him mid-season.
He looks like a baller. When I see clips of him, when I see him play, and the times I do, you can tell he's got.
Talented.
He's got the mindset.
Many, man. There's so many guys. Sean Rea, he's going to get his chance in the MLS this year after a fantastic year in CPL. Krifa Yao just got signed by the Whitecaps. I think he's a future national team center back. So these guys are like 20, 21, 22 that Canadians don't. I mean, we might know some of them, but Canadians surely don't know in general because these are small names right now, but they won't be in 4 years. Those are going to be the guys who lead our team onto the pitch in Toronto or Vancouver or wherever we play our first game.
Yeah. Even guys who are just on the brink. Like, they're saying Jaden Nelson's off to Europe. Yeah. And he's leaving TFC. Yeah. That's someone who's just on the brink of making the national team. Yeah. And being in that system. So, yeah, like you said, CPL, there's so many good stories coming out of there.
It's a great stepping stone.
It's such a great stepping stone. These European teams are going to realize now, like, we can get like a lottery pick out of this Canadian CPL league because like no one's looking at this league. Yeah. We can get that one diamond in the rough, and next thing you know, baller like Davies or something like that. So it's a huge stepping stone, and now you're going to see a lot more Canadians have that, especially young Canadians have that mindset. I can make it pro. A lot of dreams die because they think, I don't have that availability to make it. I don't have the money. I don't have this.
You didn't have that avenue. It's like you either somehow made it to TFC or that was it. Or if you're West Coast, Vancouver or Montreal, but if you weren't, like, let's say in one of those 3 academies, then you probably weren't touching professional football unless you went abroad, and that's like a totally different story because you're adjusting to so many other things. But now it's like you have that other level of professional football, and it's like that can be your mainstay. That can be what you focus on. And I think that's going to give, like Adam said, like so many more players the opportunity to continue doing what they love, and so many late bloomers. Like just because you weren't, that world beater at 18 or 19 doesn't mean that by the time you're 21 or 22, you can't take that next step and then keep on blossoming. Right?
Exactly. You might not make the TFC academy. You might not make their team, but then you have the opportunity to make a CPL team. And the next thing you know, TFC is calling for you. So it's good to have the opportunity. You're seeing it, man. Yeah. All over the world.
We've all played it like soccer, and I'm sure you can think off the top of your head of like kids you played with growing up who were like the best at that age slip through the cracks.
Exactly.
Completely. Like,
what if they had that opportunity?
But maybe that stepping stone is the difference between a kid like that getting to the next level, right? Versus like, they go play university soccer, college soccer, and then we never hear from them again because now they're 23, 24, and there's always going to be an 18-year-old who's prioritized over a 23-year-old at that stage, right? So it's like it's like a common story, but it's our infrastructure for so long in this country was really poor in terms of progressing players through the levels, and the CPL was the missing piece for that. And League One Ontario, League One BC, PLSQ, like all the new this has all happened in the last 2-3 years. So we have no idea how big it's going to be until about 10 or 15 years down the road, when it's just totally like the normal pathway to our national team is going to be through the CPL. I guarantee it. At a certain point, we're going to be having every single player in the national team will have at some point at 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 have played at some point in the CPL. I believe that because it's going to be such a convenient path to get to that next level that everyone's going to want to do it.
And you're seeing that there's a lot more, there's rumors of more teams coming into the CPL now too, right? Yeah. And look, it's a team, Atletico Madrid, a team from Spain have a team here, Atletico Ottawa.
They see the value and the potential.
You're going to see other European teams. Maybe you see an Inter or a Juve team come in here and make a team. And next thing you know, that's a straight path to Juve.
Maybe even
that's a straight path. Maybe Barcelona, straight path to Barcelona, straight path to Madrid. Like that's something we're going to see more often. And that just shows you're seeing Ottawa getting a team in the first season of the CPL. It's just... Yeah. You're gonna see it coming for sure.
Yeah,
and wait till the CPL teams get academies.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Gosh, man.
I heard isn't York United getting an academy?
I think so. Yeah, I saw some stuff on Twitter and Instagram.
You see already,
it's just starting up.
Youth teams, and then that's how you develop talent, right?
Yeah, but
so many talent.
Going back to Jay's question, if Canada will make it or not out of the group, I'm gonna keep my same answer I said before the World Cup started. I don't think Canada will make it, but there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
There's not.
A year and a half, 2 years ago, never in my wildest dreams would I have thought Canada would make it to a World Cup, right?
Exactly.
If anything, I'm happy if they get a point throughout 3 games, right?
Yeah.
Like, as long as they don't embarrass themselves, as long as they perform.
As long as they have fun.
Put everything on the pitch, have fun. That's all that matters to me. I'm not expecting them to go through.
Fair enough. I'm not expecting to go through either, but I'm not going to go back on what I said last episode. So... Canada are sneaking through second place just behind Croatia, and I think Belgium are gonna stumble. I think they'll be even on points with Belgium, but I think second, third, fourth, fifth tiebreaker will sneak through.
Divine intervention.
Divine intervention. There you go.
I don't think they're gonna go through either. I really hope they do, but I think the only thing that I really want. And I think that will make me proud, and I think most Canadians proud is them getting a goal.
Yeah, we need that.
I think
goal.
that's the highlight. Them not getting a goal, not going through. I'll be okay with that. But if they get a goal, then like okay, now I can just relax and watch the games because you hit my checkpoint. Like that's what I want, and I think that's a lot what Canadians want as well. So whoever gets the goal, they're going to go down in history for sure. And I think that's what we all want to see. We want to celebrate that goal. We all want to scream goal and see that in the World Cup. I mean,
like when Kyle Larin scored against the States and Jay was looking like one of those wacky inflatable tube men with his arms. He was going mad.
No, getting that first goal is huge because you're able to like sit back and just take a breath, right? Because it's like this weight on everyone's shoulders. We as a nation need to like almost kind of save ourselves from embarrassment a little bit and get that first goal.
Yeah.
you know, that's true too. You know, maybe like they have like a tight neck. Maybe, you know, they're a little tight. But once they get that
100%.
goal in, they're gonna be loose.
Relax.
We got one. Man, what's to say we don't get another, a third, a fourth? Let me go and score against Croatia. Let me go score against these freaking Belgium guys.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, we go through.
Next thing you know, it's 3-0 against Belgium.
Like, anything can happen.
Even just hearing the Canadian anthem before the game,
Dude.
like, I'm gonna be so satisfied,
Get
bro.
fired up.
I might get emotional, dude. I might get emotional.
I'll get
It's
goosebumps for
like,
sure.
I didn't think it was gonna happen.
Yeah.
I know,
I
right?
really didn't.
Who
And,
thought that Canada would make it and
Yeah.
Italy didn't? You know what I mean?
Oh man.
Who would
There
have
you
thought?
go. Hey man,
The
come on.
slander.
Come on. There's
Had to bring it up.
no need for that right now. Man. Come on.
If I had to choose one, I'd choose Canada. Though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I say this all the time to people. I love the Italian national team, but like, this is my country, man.
It's
Born
different.
here, lived my whole life here, like, and you know, I think there's something satisfying about. I always believed we could do it here. That's the thing, is I always believed the way we do it could work. You know, it's not through academy systems when you're 4 years old, dribbling the ball around like they do in Spain. Like, it's different. But the way we do it here, I believed could work. And I think this group is sort of a testament that it can. And I think what we see in the next 5-10 years is going to be an even further testament that we can do it our way and get our guys to the highest level, playing at the biggest clubs, and have a national team success. And I think there's something so satisfying about that. Being from here, being in these systems, right? Playing in Vaughan soccer, playing Kleinberg. I mean, you guys it was all the same clubs, Woodbridge, wherever you played. Right? And just knowing that our guys could do, like Ike Ugbo is a Woodbridge, you know, played for the Woodbridge Strikers. Alistair Johnston played for Vaughan soccer and Aurora. You know, Kamal Miller played for Vaughan soccer. These are our guys, right? They did it the way that we almost
our
did
guys.
it, you know. And so in a way, it's like that's the crazy part for me, is like, it's like a true reflection of our country and our area, and I think that's why we got to take so much pride in this team. Like, the diversity of the team is one thing, but also just like players just from absolutely every path imaginable to get to the national team.
Exactly. And it makes you proud, like, you know, like us, like we obviously maybe we all had that dream of playing pro, right? But we're now seeing that other young Canadians that, you know, actually can have that path that we didn't have when we were younger. Just seeing that and seeing them have that success, seeing them have that, you know, that happiness, that makes you happy seeing that as well. So that's another thing that really connects us to Canadian football, I think.
Yeah.
And gets us very excited when they score and they do good.
Yeah. Fair enough.
Beautiful.
There we go.
Jay,
That's just a beautiful way to put it.
are Canada making it?
I'm gonna start crying.
No, unfortunately.
Wait, so you had them winning against Belgium,
have
but
them
not
beating-
making it out of the group?
That don't make no sense.
Come on, I don't get it.
I want them to make it through, and I think they
doesn't?
can. I think they can, but
Say yes, we won't
But
hold
let's
it
be
against
realistic.
you.
Come on, Jay.
if you want me to make a real prediction,
Uh-huh.
I'll have to say no,
Hmm.
because that's just
It is what
the
it
reality
is.
of the situation.
Yeah.
That's just, it is what it is.
Cookie crumbles, man.
I also
But,
feel like 50% of the reason why we say no is because we want to just temper other people's expectations.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want other people thinking, oh, like, you know, we lost 3-0 to Belgium. Like, what a failure of a world. Like, that's Belgium. Like, you know what I mean? We got to give them the respect that they've earned over the course of the last 8 years. So I think that's part of why I say that too. It's not even that I don't believe it can happen. Just, I don't want people to go in with the I don't want us to have any expectations. I want our guys to go in thinking anything we do at this tournament's gravy. And that's the right attitude for success. You go in with no pressure, no expectations, and hopefully you shock the world, right?
And
There you
let's shock the world. I think we can. It's going to be a great World Cup. Super excited. I think the nation's really going to get behind this team.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to get hyped. You're going to see people who never talked about soccer start talking about soccer.
Yeah.
Start repping Canada, which I love. I think it's a great environment. I'm super excited. I'm super excited to see all the cars with all the flags.
I'm waiting, bro. I'm waiting.
Oh, the footy fresh.
All the videos, the
baby.
watch parties, all the footy fresh.
Yeah.
It's super exciting, and I'm super
things to
excited.
come, man.
Let's go Canada, man.
Yeah, man.
Go Canada.
Les Les Rouges.
Allez.
I want to hear that song. Oh Canada, oh Canada.
Yeah.
Classified gonna perform.
Classified, man.
But yeah, thanks so much for coming by.
Oh man, this is awesome. Thanks for having me. And
Anytime.
anytime you guys want to have me on, excuse me, I lasted the whole episode. Anytime you guys want to have me on, I'm close. I'm very close. I'm almost too close. I could have walked here.
That's it.
Don't dox us, man. Come on, man.
Oh,
We're gonna get swatted, man. Come on.
It's good to have a Canada soccer correspondent in the backyard. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, appreciate you coming. It was a pleasure. Great chat. And that said, drop a like, drop a comment. Let's get behind this nation
Yeah,
and
man.
we the culture.
Let's go, boys. Ciao, ciao.
Oh, Canada. Later. That was good, man.
Oh,
Oh, Canada.
A lot of fun, guys. A lot of fun.